Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Oh, that music just gets me going. Hey, welcome. It's Tuesday's tip. Not just any tip, it's Transformational Tuesday. And I am obligated, I believe, to really give you a heads up on this. Oh my gosh, isn't that just awful, that glare like that? Let me see if I can fix that, without doing that one of these. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, trying, you guys, trying. It's good to see everyone. Thanks for showing up, by the way. I really appreciate that. I never overlooked that. Jocelyn, Catherine, Marianne, Patsy, Denise. So good to see you all. And there's Angie. Good to see you as well. Amy's here. Good to see you, Amy. And of course, Amber and Jenny are on the other side, always checking everything out. Dawn's in the house as well. So happy to have you here. And the hair. I am just obsessed with this awful hair. I'm getting it done today. So yay, let's all say hip, hip, hooray, because I've been going a little crazy with it all. Anyway, so that's happening today. I have other things. One other thing, I'm going to ask for a little prayer request. Can I do that? Will you guys pray for something for me? I'm finishing up my mom's estate stuff. And it depends on 3 different people doing 3 different sets of paperwork and getting everything done correctly. It's gone back and forth with the courts. It's been a nightmare. Would you just say little prayers that everything gets done just right and we can just get it done? I need this closure. And I think my brother and sister do too. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate that. And Jackie's here, Corliss, Joanne, Trisha. Good to see you all. So good to see you. And Linda's here too in the house. Good to see you, Linda. Here is our quote of the week. Action is the foundational key to all success. Now, Picasso wasn't just any artist. He was classically trained. And when he started to find his groove, when he got into what was in his heart, this is why we talk about our beautiful selves, because connecting with your beautiful self is connecting with your higher self, isn't it? And it's also the part of us that connects with God. It's all those things. And Picasso did this, and his whole art shifted. The way he thought about things shifted. That's when he became famous. And, we've all looked at his work and said, well, I could have done that. Well, it's a little bit different than that. And I think his story is interesting. So if you have a minute, read it. It's pretty fascinating. He was at the time of Rembrandt as well. And it looked real Rembrandtish, the way that he painted. Our quote decks are still flying out the door. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to wait on stuff. When I tell you that they're getting skinny and it's getting low, take action. What was that? Take action. Yeah, it's foundational. If you want it, you got to go get it. Because, unfortunately, our mugs are all gone. They're gone, y'all. And we're waiting on the new set, so no mugs going out probably for the next 5 days. So I want you to have what you want. I want you to get what you want. And if you can say, yeah, that quote deck, now's the time. So the quote deck is just very simple, different quotes in here, little cosmic 2x4s to get you moving, get you on your feet, get you to the place you want to be. You want to be in your life, to set up your environment, to switch your thinking, to put you in the right place of knowing that you're going the right direction. Part of courage is simple consistency. That's the one that's sitting on my stand and is going to keep sitting on my stand to remind me every single day of my word of the year, which is consistency. But there's a ton of other ones. 52, as a matter of fact, in there, just like a deck of cards. They come in this little plastic pack. They come with a little wooden stand, so you can sit it right there for you to, you can tape them. They're laminated. You can tape them all over your house if you need to. But we're in training. We're human beings in training. That's exactly how it works. Patsy, if you're still waiting for support to fix your order, give them another holler. Support at savingdinner.com, and we can get on that. I promise you. And I'm going to just say, probably they've already answer to all your emails because that's how they roll. It gets done. Our supplement of the week is L-glutamine. Now, you know that I have huge fondness for L-glutamine because it does two huge needle-moving things in your life. One is it's going to help heal your gut. When the junctures go whoop in your gut, L-glutamine does this and tightens them back up. So you're not leaking food all into your body cavity. Isn't that disgusting? Who wants that? Not me. And also puts your immune system on overdrive. We don't need to be doing that. It also, if you take it and put it here, now you put a scoop in your Target Trifecta smoothie, day 2 of the sprint, by the way, and then you put it on your finger, teeth, gum, tongue. It doesn't have a flavor really, not much. And let me just tell you, this stuff cuts off those cravings right away. I've got so many women here who can tell you how fabulous it works because this is something you need to do. I promise you, this is what you need to do. If you buy an L-glutamine, we're also going to deliver to you in your inbox a bundle of ebooks with our mixes in them, like Mexican seasonings and all the seasonings and things that you like that look like real fun without all the crap in them. You make them yourself, takes a second, and you'll have these to make all kinds of different recipes. This is really helpful, especially for the sprint. Love them. These took a few years for us to put together. This is the entire collection, $54 worth. So grab your L-glutamine and we will deliver to you your e-bundle of books. You're going to want to print them off. It is really that fabulous. And they taste so much more amazing. And let me just tell you right now, everything in the shop, we've shipped everything. If you're wondering, where is it? Listen, I told you during the gala, order first because things were flying so fast. We had hundreds and hundreds of orders, and we were just like, whoa, what happened here? And believe me, we were thrilled to death. Well, they all just went out because we had some back orders. We got everything, and what have you. The rest of them have just gone out. So it's on the way. So check your emails for your tracking information and all of that. And if you have a question, always remember, we're always looking to help you and support you any way that we can. Send your emails into support@savingdinner.com and we'll take care of it. Also, if you have a question for Friday's show, send it into support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday in that subject line, and I will answer that question. You got that? We are on it. There's Trisha, Susan, and Lucy. Good to see you all. Glad you're back, Lucy. Don't disappear. We have a saying here, no Irish goodbyes. You know what an Irish goodbye is? You don't say goodbye, you just duck out. No Irish goodbyes because we stay accountable. We stay in community. We need each other. And when part of our community's mission, we wonder where you go. We need you. We need you. Be here. Be part of us. Right, Jackie? Oh my goodness. And I am so excited. You guys are already signing up. On Saturday, April 24th, it's full bloom time. And boy, are we going all in on I am enough. This is a message we all need to hear over and over and over again because that's where we got to start. When we can accept ourselves where we are, my goodness, we talk about going all in and being in full bloom. You got to be there. It's an all-day thing. It's going to be virtual. The swag bag is off the hook already. We're finalizing everything today. You got to be there because you will get a swag bag goodie box in the mail. Yes, with all the full bloom stuff on it. And it's so beautiful. Wait till you see it. This year, it's all different. And you'll also get a virtual swag bag of goodies that we think will help you out. That's how we roll. So we're day 2 in the sprint. Noreen just registered. I'm so glad, Noreen. I'm so excited to see that. You watched my videos again, and thank you so much. I'm glad you like everything. This is so great. And remember, you know what you can always do? You can always share these videos because you know what we do? We bring people in. We don't push people out. We're not judgmental. The whole thing, I just have to say one thing about this whole Meghan Markle interview and all of that. Boy, did I see some hate thrown down yesterday on the internet. Women trashing other women on International Women's Day. That just broke my heart. We're better than that. We are better than that. And there's a meme going around that, that wise women, not wise women, but I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm going to say it this way. Wise women straighten another woman's crown, and they don't let anybody know about what's going on. We have each other's backs. That's what our community is about. And, in public, can we be the same? Can we be on that level, not trashing, but loving? We don't know what she's been through. We don't. Yeah, privilege, lots of it. So does that mean that she doesn't have an opportunity to share how she feels, or that she was feeling very desperate? We need to be women who raise other women up. The end. We don't have to give good qualifiers. Only if you make this amount of money, only if you, come on. We raise each other up. The end of the story. If you're in my community, that's what we do. We raise each other up. Because I would, we had a woman a while ago, a really long time ago, who was not doing this. And I'm telling you, she flew out of our community so fast, I couldn't wait to hit the eject button, because I won't have that. We need each other, and we need love, and we need togetherness, and we need all of it. That's what we're about. So don't ever forget that. I don't care if it's the day after Wise Women's, the day after International Women's Day. We're wise women every day of the week. Pinkies up, Joanne. You're right. Yes, Noreen. Amen. Amen. We fix each other's crowns. We do. That's what we do. Because we love each other, When you really genuinely love somebody, you can't be like that. You just can't. It's not part of your continuum. It's not part of your congruency, Sisterhood all the way. Right on, Batsy. Right on. All right, so tonight we're doing Get Strong, Be Strong. You ready for this? Listen, let me just tell you something, give you just a teensy-tiny. Being strong is everything. I am an athlete, blah, 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 and I've been busting my butt. Let me just tell you, all the strength training, all the things, I've been doing all the things. Not as well as some of these little youngins are, but you know what? I'm doing the very best that I can with what I got. I'm going to tell you something. What a difference. What a difference. Even last night, I put on pajama bottoms and I was like, whoa, these things are floating on me. And I've only lost 3 pounds. It is about the inches. It's about the muscle, guys. Listen, as women over the age of whatever, perimenopausal and up, we've got to look at protecting the muscle, because the muscle protects the bone. When we protect the bone and protect the muscle, it's everything. You're going to hear about it tonight. And if you have not, I think we've only done this webinar once. You got to be here for it, because it has got some good, actionable stuff. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. You got to just do it. savingdinner.com/strong to get in on the action. And then don't forget, we're also going to have a pajama party. Who's coming to that? Anybody? Easy to do, savingdinner.com/PJs. It's on Friday, March 26th. Bring your own wine. And we're going to have a contest on who's wearing the cutest jammies. Serious. Would I lie to you? No, of course not. So don't forget, again, full bloom, I am enough. savingdinner.com/bloom. Go get signed up. And we will have a ton of people who will sign up at the last minute. But the swag bag won't be there on time. We'll still send swag bags, but it won't be there on time. So let's do it, right? Get signed up now so we can get your swag bag. You can be in line for the swag bag when we're ready to send them out. That's all there is to that. So today, I just want to say one thing about today's show. It might trigger someone, because today we're going to talk about shame, body shame, and what brings body shame in. Yes, 20-way tie for who is the cutest jammies. Oh, I don't know, Sarah, if we can, I don't know. Sarah had on Cookie Monster jammies without the cookies because they triggered her. When you have Velcro cookies, it's great. But we'll see what you come up with, Sarah. We'll see what you come up with, because I'm telling you, game on. Show up with something cute, okay? It's going to be so much fun. I can tell you. The last time we had a blast. We're doing it again. So today I'm going to talk about shame. I don't know who here is going to get triggered by it, but if you trigger warning, I just feel obligated to say to you, that it might cause you to say, oh, MG, this isn't going to be an issue. But I specifically want to talk about body shame. Now, in Body Clutter, the Body Clutter book, I specifically addressed body shame and what it was for me, why the weight had come on me, and what it was all about. So there's going to be a whole lot more. I'm going to dump a ton of material on you, and there's probably even going to be some stuff that I'm going to miss because this is a huge topic. Also, huge disclaimer, I'm not a counselor or a psychiatrist, psychologist, none of that stuff. I'm talking about this on how we come in here, we jump into the sprint. Why do we want to do this? We want to be those women. We want to be women with vibrant lives. We're not looking to model bikinis. We're not looking to get into, it's got to be this size jeans. It's not any of that stuff. It's more about our vibrancy. It's about having the life that we want to live, vibrant on every single level, heart, mind, body, soul. We recognize, and we've seen, because we've been on the carousel of crazy forever, going up and down and up and down, round and around, going nowhere, weight going up, then down and up and down, and judging ourselves by the quality of who we are by our weight. And we're saying no to that anymore. It's just, we're done. And we're done with the diet culture. We're done with this crazy diet pills. We're done with all of that. Science is the whole thing. And vibrancy is what it's about. When our bodies start to heal itself and take care of itself and take care of the things that are out of whack, the weight just naturally comes off. And we can learn to be intuitive eaters. We can learn what's right for us and not have somebody tell you, well, you should be able to, everything in moderation. If I hear one more person say everything in moderation, my head just might explode. I'm not kidding you, because that is the stupidest thing ever. Not everything in moderation. Something in moderation for someone could be just going down the wrong way. It's a personalized, customized plan. You're worth that. And this is what this is about. And you get to be stronger, more fortified, and the best possible version of yourself. Your beautiful self houses and holds your soul, your empathy, your wiser self, your self that's connected with God. This is the part of us that runs the whole show when we allow it to. Because that's who we are. Deep down, we're not a pair of jeans or a tube of lipstick. We're not that. And that's where our focus has been. And so this is why we're here back to this place. So that all said, set up, this darkness of body shame is something that many of us have experienced at the hands of being either victimized or feeling helpless, from feeling neglect, abandonment, being accosted, date raped. I mean, name that too. I know so many women who have all been on the side of this stuff, and it is really difficult. I want to bring this to you in a gentle way as best I can, and I want you to right now, today, just be open to feeling and to knowing what this message is for you. Nobody is putting you in this place or saying that you are this way or whatever. We've all experienced body shame in some form or fashion in some way. Okay? So let's get into it. So there's people who have been shamed for their looks, their weight, their boobs, their height, their color of their hair, the color of their skin, their sexuality, their whatever it is. People look to do this. They look for ways to judge, ways to pass on this stuff. And it's, it's a deflection, of course. And we talked yesterday about judgment and what judgment really is. And I want today to get into this whole thing of body shame, because the influence of body shame oftentimes is a great big old shield that holds us back from the vibrancy of what we want in our lives. And we get mistaken, I believe, and thrown onto the carousel of crazy and thinking, if I could just find the right plan, then I can have this, that, and the other thing. Then my whole life is going to be a big bowl of cherries. Then. And that's simply not true. And we know this because we've lived it on repeat. And I'm saying we're going to pull the plug of the carousel of crazy and instead get into some places in our hearts that are difficult. And I'm looking at this, and I'm going to tell you my stories because certainly, we're all in this together, right? This is our journey, and we all feel it differently, and we all experience it differently. But we've all been tragically hurt, and we've all been damaged by it. And how we've responded, a lot of us have gone to this place of body shame. So, if you've survived the crucible of body shame yourself, you're in a good group of a company of women who've also done it. And we need to understand that some of those remnants of that body shame, even though we think mostly we've, gotten over it, I think they come back a little bit, and sometimes they're reminders and they pop up every once in a while. And I have some radical things to say about that, that I've done in my own life, and it's really made a big difference. And I hope it touches you. These beliefs that we have from body shame are created for protective devices, and that's it. That's it. That's what it's for. I shared about that when I was in body clutter, that I had a fleshy shield to keep me protected. And I was 237 pounds. I was inflamed. I was in pain. I was newly diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I mean, all this stuff was going on, and also just starting into perimenopause. And I just remember at the time feeling so out of control with my body. And my body was out of control, and the weight just kept piling on, and everything about it. And all these feelings of the past came up with the new feelings that was going on. Attachment, if you will. And these feelings lead to behaviors that will cover up pretty much everything. And what I found, at least with me, that those feelings would lead to me to eat, to stuff them. Because, it's so classic, isn't it? You hear that, but it's true. We stuff our feelings by eating, by trying to make ourselves feel better. And it's never enough. And it's never satisfying. And it's never giving us the peace or the joy or the contentment or anything that we want. We never walk away from a binge, from eating the stuff that we know is harming for us. We never walk away from that thinking, that was a really good idea, ever. And yet we find ourselves in this horrible loop of doing the same thing over and over again. And I believe a lot of it is based on this old body shame and the attachment from past stuff when we were kids, teenagers, later on as we got older, whatever it is. And I also believe that, when we feel depressed and out of control and helpless, that is, that's even, that just brings all of it into an even clearer view, doesn't it? And I remember one time when I was, I was trying to, it was just after it, and listen to this. This is how crazy the carousel of crazy is. I had just had my second child, 2 children in 2 years, in less than 2 years. And I had this belly, and I had these great big boobs and everything. And my mother-in-law took me shopping. And I just remember the humility and the shame of being in this dressing room and putting things on and nothing looking right. And I remember getting the clothes in the normal sizes, and I had to go up like 2 sizes. And just the shame that came over me and how ashamed my body. And I just had a kid, my second one in 2 years. But this is how women are. This is how women get attached to this shame cycle. Something triggers it, something brings it up, and then what do you want to do? So my mother-in-law, what did we do? We went out, I remember this, Cheesecake Factory. You know what I liked about Cheesecake Factory back then? They give you piles of food. And I think I ordered something and said, oh, I'll just take a to-go box with everything that was, that I left over. There was nothing left over. And it was the result of what happened in that dressing room, all attached to all that old stuff. So body shame goes beyond feeling bad, right? It's a dwell upon thing, because when we have this body shame, we go back to it really easily. It's easily, oh, body shame. And then what do? Trigger habit of eating the wrong stuff, binge eating, whatever it is. And then we go back to the cycle of what do? We dwell on it again. So you see the cycle, right? And what I found is that the more focused on shame you become, the more shame you experience. Isn't that true? Shame just delivers. It's like, okay, you want to go there? Here you go. And it's like a truck backing up and opening up and just pouring cement down into your driveway so you can't go anywhere. You feel stuck. You feel glued to the ground. You feel like there is no hope. There's no way around this. I've got this huge obstacle and I am stuck. Catherine says, my carousel are crazy. I think we all have that. It's a thing. It really is a thing. But the thing that I think is so important is to differentiate between guilt and shame, because they're not the same thing. Guilt is something over something we've done versus shame is something over something that we feel we are. And this is where I want to do a little surgery, and just extract that out of you, because everything about you is absolutely lovely and beautiful and God ordained. Everything. Otherwise, you just wouldn't be here. I want you to hear that from me right now. And if you're writing down these things, please hear me. Everything about you is gloriously beautiful. Everything. Now, you might have had some experiences in the past. That doesn't dictate who you are today. You might have done something that you've regretted and didn't like. That isn't who you are. Who we are shows up in what we do, yes, but who we are is deep inside of us and God ordained. Otherwise, we would not be here. We're not just here taking up space. We're not here to just breathe and suck up the oxygen in the atmosphere. We're here on divine terms by the Creator above who put us here on purpose. And for us to find our path, our unique path, that's part of our life's work. It's to help others. And there's a unique way that you're going to do that. Open your eyes and start looking for that. And when you do, start to put down the shame and put it into the experience file. Because it's not the shame, it's the experience. You've just allowed the shame to take residence. We do. We allow these things. And it's not your fault. You probably did it when you were a kid or whatever. And it's all the stuff that we take with us. But I'm going to promise you this, that when we put the light on in the darkness, it's not quite so dark anymore, is it? And we have an opportunity at that point to start to say, I'm done. I'm done with this. And there is a place for all of this. And I will take the experience from the shame and I will put it into the experience file and I will allow the shame to go. Watch it drift away. In your mind's eye, in a meditation even, you can just allow it to drift away. I did this when I had a shame thing that I was doing, and I was doing a meditation, and I saw myself as a little girl letting go of balloons. And I thought, there goes that shame. I'm allowing it to go because I don't need that. It's not here to do anything for me. It's not serving me. It's holding me back from my purpose. Why is it here? My experiences do not dictate what my future is going to be. My experiences can teach me a lesson. I can look for that. I can be that radical to look for a lesson, even in a bad thing like date rape, because I told you I've been date raped. I can look for those lessons. When I was beat up as a kid, I can look for the lessons. When a boy told me if you put a bag over your head, you'd be pretty good, I can look for a lesson in that. And you know what my lessons are on all of these things? It's not about how you look. It's why we have the Daily Dish show now, Heart, Mind, Body, and Soul. It's why we're doing this work now, is because of the stuff that I went through in my past and let go of all that shame and recognized and saw myself in a different light, in a love-filled light, because that's how God sees me. And when I can do that, that stuff can float away and melt away. So I've got some things for you to take a look at. And that's this. I want you to start to see some of these things. You ready? Number one, the skin you are in right now today, not your goal skin, but the skin you are in right now today houses your beautiful self, heart, mind, body, and soul. And Your beautiful self is enlightened. It understands, it sees, it's intuitive, it's deeply connected with God. It has all the empathy and all the love and this incredible capacity to be more than we as collectively can ever be. It's because of this beautiful self that we can basically go to God, because this is the open part of us to him. Otherwise, we're just about doing our business here on this earth. But it's in our beautiful self that we connect with God. And it's in our beautiful self that we hear the Holy Spirit. It's in our beautiful self that we love, that we empathize, that we care, and that we do. Our beautiful selves have no room for shame. Shame doesn't belong there. And I want you to look at shame, instead of looking at it as an event, is to look at it as a past. To look at it as something that happened and something that was inadvertently chosen, and that you no longer choose it. Because shame is a belief system that you can say, yeah, it doesn't work for me anymore at any point. How about that? It's like, have you ever just gone through your clothes and you're shedding all these clothes, you're taking them, this is just worn out, this is old, I don't like this anymore, this doesn't work for me, I never liked that color. You know how we do that with our clothes? We can do that with our experiences too, and the things that we have. We can choose to take things on and to take things off. I want you to put on your beautiful self. I want you to put your hand on your heart and feel her. This is all of you. This is really the true you. And the rest that has been experienced in your body skin, in your body suit, the rest of it, we need to put to the side. I wrote this, that, we come in a wrapper, this human bodysuit of ours, don't we? And we can always become healthier. We can always, get to goal weights and do all kinds of stuff. And we can get into all of that. But I'm going to tell you for a minute right now that right where you are today, you have the ability to take these things off, to take off that old shame, because it doesn't serve you anymore. And it hides your beautiful self, and it hides your light and your beauty and everything else that the world needs right now. Because we've already decided, we already clarified this at the very beginning, that we are women who don't trash other women. We are women who lift each other up. And we all have stories, don't we? We all have some kind of tragedy or victimhood or some kind of thing that happened. Nobody walks through this earth unscathed. Nobody. So if we can rise up and we can start creating a positive body image of ourselves right now where we are, and I don't care where you are, right? Because where you are isn't necessarily where we're going to stay. Being better is just what we want to do, because we want that level of life, that level of vibrancy. And sometimes, bad knees or whatever's going to hold us back. And if we can figure something out to help the knees not hurt, that's vibrancy. That's why we do the supplements that we do. That's why we take care of ourselves the way that we do, so that we can get that vibrancy back. It's not just about genes. And you're worth the worthiness of all things right now, today, where you are, where you're not at your goal, where you're not at your complete vibrancy that you want to be. You're worth it right now. And I want you to see that. That's why we're doing Full Bloom, called I Am Enough. You've got to have this message, because this is how we take off shame and we put on our worth. It's time to create some body affirmations that support you. Especially when the shame comes, because every once in a while, it comes, something triggers it. I am the daughter of the King. I am loved exactly right now. I am beautiful, heart, mind, body, and soul, because you are. Start believing this, because this is exactly how God sees you. He does. The other thing is, you got to shift the, oops. You got to shift the, yeah, you know what I'm saying. We all pile on, don't we? We say good stuff, we do our affirmations, and then boom, something comes up, something triggers something, and we're back to square one. Well, I just want you to say about this, that we got to allow for that, because it's part of our imperfection. It's part of our human experience. It happens, but it can be a lot less bogging down if you make a decision that it's going to be a lot less, because understand that you can't just say, okay, done, there goes that, it doesn't work that way. We have to shift it. We have to, as we shift and think that that's enough of that, and we go into this place and we're creating positive affirmations, we're in our communities, we're doing the things, we're doing this, that, and the other thing, and then all of a sudden it comes back, all we have to say to it is that, oh, well, there you are again. No, I'm not going to get sucked down. No, I'm not going to play your game. No, I'm not going to go into the downward spiral. We just need to know that it will come up. And as we shift our thinking and do things differently, and we're patient with ourselves and we're loving, then it gets less and less, doesn't it? This is the good work that we do, the good work. And you know what? Allow for it, because it's going to happen. Jameis says, drop the pile. Amen. Drop the pile. Drop the pile of, and we don't even have our puppy yet. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be up to my eyeballs with it. And I want you to remember something, like when you look in the mirror and you say, oh, but my thighs are gross, or this, you're not gross. Maybe you're not confident. Maybe you're not where you want to be, but you're beautiful, created by God himself on purpose at this time for a divine reason. Stop saying things like that to yourself. Not true. And one of the ways to get out of this is to start complimenting others. Have you noticed? This is the rising tide thingy, that makes you rise the tide to everybody else. You help rise the tide. You help bring the people up. Be the rising tide, This is the start of a conversation. You have the most beautiful eyes, Say that. You are so kind. You are so gentle. You are so sweet. You show up. Every time I see your post, you just light me up. Tell someone that. This is how we build our community. We rise the tide and we become the women we want to become. It gives you an opportunity to get into the community and out of your head, because shame lives there. That's where shame lives. It doesn't live outside of you. It's only in here. And if you want to get rid of it, it's time to start putting the good stuff in. Number 5 is judgment of any kind is going to keep you in a prison of shame. Just leave it there. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Ever hear that one? Don't do it. So lowbrow, so down in the dirt. It sucks, by the way. And it's a deflection, it's one-upsmanship, it's an unwillingness, it's arrogance. If you do this with anything, politics, religion, food, your gene size, any of it, that is shameful behavior. And it's wrong. And it's a deflection. It's a deflection. And we have to, and I read this too. This is a great quote. When you judge another, you don't define them. You define yourself, right? We put ourselves out like that. This is not the way to get rid of shame. The way to get rid of shame, I just told you, bring another person up. This is what we need to be doing. We don't need to go down into the filthy dirt and start dragging people down, name calling and doing all that stuff. I mean, what are we, like kindergartners? We got to train kids out of that. We have, as adult women, wise women, just can't go there. So the whole thing is we all have stories of how we arrived at this place of body shame. We all do. And our experience file is the most useful because in there's something to extrapolate. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. When we are in this place, and sometimes there's forgiveness that needs to come along. Sometimes we have to forgive others who have done things to us and caused us to be victims and all of that. But I'm going to tell you something somebody told me that this just really, it freed me. And that is, you'll never always necessarily feel the forgiveness. And sometimes you think, yeah, but I really wish that person ill or whatever. Go instead and leave the forgiveness on the forgiveness pile in the experience pile, and this is the best I can forgive, and go to the next place of radical acceptance. Because radical acceptance is not putting a value on it at all. It's just saying, this is what happened, because it is. There's nothing you can do without it. And it is literally unplugging the emotion from it. And just going and saying, you know what? This is what happened, but that doesn't mean I got to roll around in it. Just because your dog poops on the ground doesn't mean you have to go outside and roll around on it, right? Pick it up. Get rid of it. Let's go get rid of it. This is what we do. And when we do this, when we start doing this, we are starting to live an elevated, up-leveled life. This is where our boats start to float. And we bring other people with us. Now, this is only a start. This could be a huge topic, and I'm not going to go anywhere in there. I'm just going to remind you, use your journal, use your affirmations. If an issue comes up, talk to your body clutter buddy. But don't just leave it there. Don't allow it to have, its own way with you. And remember this, that the light always diminishes the darkness. Always. 100% of the time. Our beautiful selves are the answer, because in our beautiful self is our connection to God, is our empathy, is our tremendous understanding. It's our intuitive nature in there. It's our wisdom, our wise women. This is where we live. These bodysuits, this is how we get around on earth. It's our vehicle. Who we are is in here. So connect solidly with her, will you? And remember, anything that no longer serves you, you can dismiss. You've got that kind of power. So illuminate your life with this truth, because it is. And let your vibrancy shine for all to see. Because this is how you bring other people in too. This is how you do it. All right. That was long, sorry. But it was important, because we're all influenced. And I no longer want you to be influenced by body shame anymore. It has not served any purpose whatsoever in your life, and it's time to dismiss it. Remember, you have the power to flick on the switch and to get rid of the darkness. You do. Peace be with you. And thanks for joining me today. Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.